Imagine a world where animals can alter the entire ecosystem of a whole continent simply by landing in unfamiliar territory. Often it begins with unchecked breeding. In a blink, they pose a threat to native species, leading to ecological upheaval. And it all boils down to human choices. Today, we're exploring how human actions can shift the destiny of an entire nation, turning it into an ecological hotspot. Australia stands as a prime example of how introduced species can dramatically impact an ecosystem. Since 1770, over 3,000 foreign species have settled in Australia, with some becoming so entrenched that distinguishing friend from foe becomes challenging. Let's examine some of the most significant invasive species and their effects on the Australian landscape. We'll start with rabbits, widely considered Australia's most damaging biological invasion. This saga began when a wealthy landowner introduced 24 wild rabbits to his Melbourne property. Left to roam freely, their numbers surged to 1,000 in just 3 years. The breeding didn't stop there, and within 50 years, they had colonized the entire continent. Why was this alarming? Rabbits are invasive. They challenge biodiversity and upset established ecosystems. They also devastate crops, leading to soil erosion. On the whole, these rabbits have degraded Australia's fertile land and played a role in wiping out various indigenous species, yet they thrived in their adopted land, evading predators and surviving harsh conditions. All they required was the right soil for burrows and ample grass. Humans tried to counteract the rabbit invasion, but the creatures multiplied faster than they could be managed. Fences, hold destruction, poisons, even viruses. Nothing seemed effective. Ultimately, the hemorrhagic rabbit disease virus, spread by flies, seemed promising. Within 48 hours of infection, the virus killed the rabbit. Soon 90% of the population was decimated. But only in dry areas, rabbits and cooler, moist regions survived. Soon enough, they developed a resistance to the virus. Was it truly a win? That remains debatable today. Roughly 200 million wild rabbits still inhabit Australia, menacing 300 species of plant and animals. And to think it all started with just 24 rabbits. A similar story unfolds with camels, another species non-native to Australia. They were introduced in the 19th century by British settlers from India and Afghanistan. Surprisingly, Australia now boasts the highest number of wild camels worldwide, brought primarily for transportation across the area. Terrains, camels soon became integral to Australian life. By 1900, Australia housed about 15,000 of them. But as automobiles took over, camels became obsolete. Their maintenance was costly, and many were left to roam free. While not as destructive as rabbits, camels still pose challenges. They consumed vast swaths of plant species, contaminated water sources, caused soil erosion, and damaged infrastructure. A single camel can guzzle up to 53 gallons of water in mere minutes, and can detect water from over 3 miles away. These issues led Australians to view camels as invasive pests, often culled from helicopters. By 2020, the camel count was approximately 300,000. The red fox tells a similar tale, decimating indigenous medium-sized mammals in Australia's southern mainland. Introduced by Victorian settlers for hunting in the 1840s, their population exploded. Post-1874, while foxes do prey on the overwhelming RAB population, they also attack livestock, costing Australia about $200 million annually. And we can't forget feral cats brought by European settlers. In 1788, they've since obliterated several native species. Australia now contends with over 2 million of these predators, each annihilating about 400 mammals, over 200 reptiles, and roughly 130 birds annually. Sadly, even endangered birds like the night parrot aren't spared. The introduction of these species has had far-reaching consequences for Australia's unique ecosystem. The country's isolation had allowed for the evolution of distinctive flora and fauna, many of which were ill-equipped to deal with these new predators and competitors. The rapid spread of these invasive species has led to the extinction of numerous native animals and plants, fundamentally altering the landscape and ecological balance of the continent. The rabbit invasion, for instance, has not only damaged crops and contributed to soil erosion, but has also outcompete many native herbivores for food and habitat. This has had a cascading effect through the food chain, impacting predators that relied on these native species. The destruction of vegetation by rabbits has also led to increased soil erosion, affecting water quality and altering entire habitats. Camels, while less destructive than rabbits, have still had a significant impact on Australia's arid regions. Their ability to consume large amounts of vegetation and their need for substantial water resources has put pressure on already scarce resources in these areas. This has affected not only plant life, but also other animals that depend on these water sources, particularly during drought periods. The introduction of foxes and feral cats has been particularly devastating for Australia's small to medium-sized mammals. Many of these native species had never encountered such a deficient predators and lacked the necessary defense mechanisms. This has led to dramatic population declines and even extinctions of several species unique to Australia. The challenge of managing these invasive species is immense. Traditional methods of control such as hunting, poisoning, and fencing have proven to be only partially effective and often come with their own set of environmental concerns. The use of biological control methods, like the introduction of diseases to control rabbit populations, has shown some success, but also demonstrates the complexity and potential risks of such interventions. The situation in Australia serves as a stark reminder of the unintended consequences of human actions on ecosystems. It highlights the delicate balance of nature and how easily it can be disrupted by the introduction of non-native species. The lessons learned from Australia's experience are valuable for conservation efforts worldwide, emphasizing the need for careful consideration before introducing any species to a new environment. Moreover, the Australian case underscores the importance of biosecurity measures to prevent the introduction of potentially invasive species. It also highlights the need for comprehensive long-term strategies for managing invasive species. Once they become established, these strategies must balance ecological concerns with economic realities and consider the complex interactions within ecosystems. The story of invasive species in Australia is not just about ecological damage, it's also about resilience and adaptation. Some native species have shown remarkable ability to coexist with or even benefit from the presence of invasive species. For instance, some native predators have learned to prey on rabbits, incorporating them into their diet. This demonstrates the dynamic nature of ecosystems and their capacity for change even in the face of significant disruptions. Research into the impacts of invasive species in Australia continues to provide valuable insights into ecosystem management, species interactions, and evolutionary processes. Scientists are studying how native species adapt to new predators and competitors, which could inform conservation strategies not just in Australia, but around the world. The Australian experience also raises important ethical questions about human responsibility towards the environment as the primary cause of these ecological disruptions. Do we have an obligation to intervene and attempt to restore balance? And so how do we determine what that balance should look like, given that ecosystems are not static entities, but constantly evolving systems? In conclusion, the story of invasive species in Australia serves as a powerful reminder of the far-reaching consequences of human actions on natural systems. From rabbits to camels, foxes to feral cats, each introduced species has played a role in reshaping the Australian landscape and ecosystem. The ongoing struggle to manage these invasive populations highlights the complexity of ecological interactions and the challenges of environmental management. As we move forward, the lessons learned from Australia's experience with invasive species will be crucial in informing global conservation efforts and environmental policies. It underscores the need for careful consideration before introducing any species to a new environment and the importance of swift action when invasive species are detected. Ultimately, it reminds us of our responsibility as stewards of the environment and the profound impact our choices can have on the natural world.